You wake up one morning, look in the mirror and realize something feels off. You're not sick. You're not weak. But that sharp edge you once had, your strength, your energy, even your drive, seems to have quietly faded away. Most men over 40 think it's just aging, that slowing down, losing energy, or struggling with vitality is inevitable. But as a urologist with over 2 decades of experience, I can tell you this. What you eat each morning decides how fast or slow that decline happens. And there's one simple food, often sitting right on your kitchen shelf, that can keep your vitality strong, even in your 60s and 70s. Most men overlook it. Some even avoid it, thinking it's bad for them. But research says the opposite. What is this food? And how does it protect your energy, performance, and masculine health? Let's start from the beginning. Every morning in my clinic, I meet men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s who come in for the same reason. They whisper it quietly, almost embarrassed to say it out loud. Doctor, I don't feel like myself anymore. Fatigue, low motivation, poor sleep, decreased stamina, both in and out of the bedroom. They think it's testosterone. They think it's stress. They think it's just aging. But when I run their tests, I often find a hidden pattern. The root isn't just hormones, it's nutrition. See, your morning meal sets the hormonal rhythm for the entire day. It triggers either an anabolic state, where your body builds energy, repairs muscle, and balances hormones, or a catabolic state, where your body breaks down faster than it recovers. And most modern breakfast foods, toast, cereals, sugary coffee, do exactly that. They spike blood sugar, create inflammation, and accelerate aging at the cellular level. That's when I began studying. What if we could reverse that effect with just one morning food? One that supports testosterone, improves blood flow, reduces inflammation, and protects vitality naturally. That research led to an unexpected discovery. The silent decline begins earlier than you think. Here's the uncomfortable truth most men don't realize. By age 40, your testosterone drops roughly 1% every year. By 50, your blood vessels stiffen by almost 10%, reducing circulation to critical areas of your body. That's not just about libido, it's about life force. Your vitality is literally how efficiently your body moves oxygen, nutrients, and hormones to every organ. So when those systems weaken, the first thing to suffer isn't your strength, it's your energy, focus, and drive. You wake up feeling tired instead of ready. You drink more coffee to wake up, but that caffeine roller coaster only deepens the problem. Your body's real engine, the hormonal system, keeps sputtering. The men I meet often say, "Doc, I go to the gym, I take vitamins, why am I still tired?" And I tell them, because what you eat in the first hour after waking can either build your vitality or quietly drain it for the next 16 hours. And that's exactly where this one food comes in. But before I reveal it, you need to understand what's happening inside your body each morning, something most people never talk about. The morning battle inside your body. The moment you wake up, your body begins a complex hormonal dance. Your cortisol levels rise to wake you up. Your insulin sensitivity is high to absorb nutrients efficiently. And your testosterone is at its daily peak, ready to maintain energy, strength, and confidence. But the wrong food in that first hour, especially one high in sugar or refined carbs, crashes that delicate balance. It spikes insulin, lowers testosterone, and tells your brain to store fat instead of burning it. I call it the morning sabotage effect. It's the reason why so many men feel sluggish, lose motivation by midday, and can't explain why their stamina isn't what it used to be. Even if they eat healthy later, the damage is already done before noon. When I explain this in consultations, most men look shocked. They say, "So you mean my breakfast is killing my vitality?" And I say, not killing, but slowly starving it. Because vitality doesn't disappear overnight, it erodes silently. Every wrong breakfast choice adds a grain of sand to the hourglass of your energy, until one day, you wake up and realize you've lost that fire you used to have. So what's the alternative? What's the one food that flips this entire process back in your favor? The clues hidden in ancient diets. When modern science doesn't have answers, I often look backward. Ancient cultures had incredible knowledge about male vitality, long before labs and supplements existed. In ancient Japan, men over 60 would still work 10-hour days in rice fields and remain energetic well into old age. In Greece, older men in mountain villages still fathered children in their 70s. And in India, Ayurveda prescribed certain morning foods that were said to ignite the inner fire of virility. When I studied their diets, I noticed something striking. They all began their mornings with high-fat, nutrient-dense foods, not carbs. Foods that stabilize blood sugar, lower inflammation, and support testosterone production naturally. Then a pattern emerged. There was one particular food that appeared again and again, in Asia, in the Mediterranean, and even in modern clinical studies. This wasn't a supplement. It wasn't exotic or expensive. In fact, it's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. But few men know how powerful it really is. Before I reveal it, let's look at what modern research says about it. Because this isn't old folklore. It's science. What modern science discovered. A team of researchers at Harvard Medical School found something remarkable. Men who consumed this food regularly had higher testosterone levels, better vascular health, and reduced inflammation markers, even compared to men on specialized diets. Another study published in the Journal of Urology showed that this same food improved prostate health and blood flow, two key markers of male vitality after 40. In one trial, men over 50 who added just one serving of this food to their morning routine saw a measurable improvement in their energy, mood, and endurance within 3 weeks. So what is it? What's the common thread between ancient traditions and cutting-edge research? Here's your clue. It's golden in color, rich in healthy fats, and has been used for centuries, not just as food, but as medicine. Still guessing? Good. Because in part 2, we'll reveal exactly what this food is, how it works inside your body, and the simple way to use it each morning to reignite your vitality naturally. But before we move on, remember this. Vitality is not lost with age, it's lost with neglect. And the right morning choice can rebuild it, one day at a time. The food you've been overlooking all along. Yes, it's extra virgin olive oil, simple, ancient, often sitting right in your kitchen. But inside that golden liquid hides one of the most powerful longevity compounds known to science, oleocanthal, a natural anti-inflammatory molecule that mimics the effect of ibuprofen without the side effects. For years, people praised olive oil for heart health and Mediterranean diets, but few realized how profoundly it impacts male vitality, especially after 40. When I began prescribing 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil each morning to my patients, the results were consistent. Sharper mental focus, better energy stability throughout the day, noticeably stronger performance, both physically and intimately. At first, I thought it was placebo, but the blood tests said otherwise. Within 4 weeks, testosterone levels rose modestly but meaningfully. Inflammation markers like CRP and IL-6 dropped, and nitric oxide levels, critical for blood vessel flexibility, improved measurably. Men who had resigned themselves to aging began reporting that they felt like their younger selves again. The beauty of this twist is its simplicity. Vitality doesn't always require pills or potions. It often begins with pure, unprocessed fat. But let's dig deeper. Why does olive oil do what countless supplements fail to? The science behind the strength. Your body's vitality depends on three biological pillars: hormonal balance, especially testosterone and cortisol; vascular health, how efficiently blood reaches muscles, brain, and reproductive organs; inflammation control, because chronic inflammation silently shuts down hormonal signals. Olive oil directly supports all three. 1. Hormones. Healthy fats are the raw material your body uses to make testosterone. Low-fat diets literally starve your hormonal system. 1 tablespoon of olive oil provides monounsaturated fats that tell your brain, "We have enough energy, keep producing." In fact, a Spanish study showed that men who replaced butter or seed oils with olive oil experienced a 20% boost in testosterone within 3 weeks. 2. Circulation. Nitric oxide, the molecule responsible for blood vessel dilation, needs protection from oxidation. The polyphenols in olive oil act as shields, keeping nitric oxide active longer. That means better circulation, better oxygen delivery, and better endurance. 3. Inflammation. After 40, low-grade inflammation becomes the silent killer of vitality. It interferes with hormones, metabolism, and even mental clarity. Oleocanthal in olive oil switches off inflammatory pathways in the same way pharmaceutical drugs do, but gently, naturally, and daily. That's why men in Mediterranean regions who consume olive oil every morning not only live longer, but stay functional longer. Now imagine what happens when you start your day with that biological boost instead of a blood sugar crash. How to use it correctly. Most people simply drizzle olive oil on salads. That's good, but not enough. For full vitality benefits, it matters when and how you take it. Here's the exact morning protocol I recommend to my patients. Before breakfast, take 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil on an empty stomach. Use high-quality cold-pressed oil, dark bottle, fresh aroma, peppery taste. The mild throat sting you feel? That's oleocanthal, the active compound doing its job. Wait 15 minutes. Let your body absorb the fats before introducing any carbs or caffeine. You may drink water or green tea during this window. Then eat a balanced breakfast. Include protein, eggs, yogurt, nuts, and fiber, vegetables, oats, or fruit. Avoid sugar-heavy cereals or white bread. This simple ritual stabilizes insulin, keeps cortisol under control, and primes testosterone for the day. Within 10 days, most men report steadier morning energy. By 3 weeks, stamina and focus improve. By 6 weeks, they feel a visible shift, less fatigue, better workouts, renewed confidence. It's not magic. It's chemistry aligned with biology. Proof from the clinic. I'll never forget one patient, Ravi, 52 years old, corporate manager, 2 kids. He came in complaining of fatigue, brain fog, and declining performance. He'd tried everything: vitamins, gym, even testosterone boosters. Nothing lasted. I told him to do one thing. Each morning, take a spoonful of extra virgin olive oil, no other changes. 3 weeks later, he walked in smiling. "Doctor, I feel alive again," he said. His labs confirmed it: improved lipid profile, lower CRP, and testosterone up by 12%. It wasn't coincidence. It was nourishment. Another patient, Imran, 46, had borderline high blood pressure. Within a month of the same routine, his pressure normalized and his energy stabilized through the afternoon. He told me, "I don't reach for coffee anymore. I just don't need it." These stories repeat themselves daily in my practice. Because men don't need more stimulants, they need smarter nutrition. Why most men ignore this? We've been conditioned to fear fats. For decades, marketing told us, fat, heart disease. But science has corrected that myth. It's processed seed oils and sugars that trigger inflammation, not natural fats like olive oil. Yet many men still start their mornings with margarine, toast, or low-fat spreads that silently wreck hormones. They think they're making healthy choices, but their energy tells another story. That's why awareness is power. Once you understand that vitality begins at breakfast, you'll never treat that meal casually again. Reclaiming control of your vitality. So now you know, vitality isn't a mystery, nor a privilege of youth. It's a physiological rhythm, and you can reset it. Start tomorrow morning differently. Skip the sugar. Skip the processed oils. Reach for that bottle of extra virgin olive oil and take 1 mindful tablespoon. Feel the richness coat your throat, the signal that you're feeding your body, not fighting it. Over time, that tiny ritual becomes a declaration. You're no longer surrendering to age, you're steering it. And when you look in the mirror weeks from now, you might notice something subtle. Your posture straighter, your energy steadier, your confidence quietly returning. That's not coincidence. That's your body remembering what strength feels like. Because true vitality doesn't come from a supplement shelf. It comes from choices made in the first hour of your day. And the best time to start is tomorrow morning.